You created such a distinct look for season 1 of Handmaids. Going into season 2, obviously there's new locations, but did you have any goal in mind of how to like build on what you did in season 1?
I mean, I think the goal was to try and maintain the look, and then when transfer it into the new locations, so it felt like it was the same movie or
Mm.
same TV show.
Was there anything you felt like you couldn't or shouldn't change from the first season?
We looked at changing color palettes, and then once we tried it, it didn't really work, and it looked like it was a different show. So we, had to revert back. The DIT wasn't very happy about that. He really wanted to move on, but we had to stay with the program.
What was like those color palettes you tried out?
We tried it on just on various, no, especially the colonies. We looked at various mythologies with the colonies, but we just needed to have the basis of what we'd done already to be to underlie everything. So that's what we did. We used the base of the previous season and built on that.
On the flip side, was there anything you felt like you could improve on from season
Always.
one? Anything in particular where
No, I'm
you
not going to give that up.
no. You won an Emmy after all, so you can't give that
There you
away.
go.
Yeah. Did you have any conversations with Bruce Miller, the EP, about anything specific for
Yeah,
season
Bruce
two?
was very clear on the colonies.
Mm.
He wanted it to be a warm environment. He didn't want it to be sort of grey, cold dystopia. He wanted it warm, not inviting, but he just wanted the color palette to be. We used Andrew Wyeth as our sort of the painter that we took inspiration from. So that's where we started from.
It is very different from a lot of like dystopian shows and movies where it's very bleak and gray, but you guys went with a lot of burnt colors.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the show, the book had a lot of strong colors, in it. So that gave us something to. We always had color in the show, so yeah, we just had to. Anne Crabtree came up with new costumes for the colonies. She knew the base of the color that it was going to be, and then designed costumes around that.
Mhm. Yeah, it worked really well with against that shade of blue.
Yeah, it was
It's like
gorgeous.
yeah.
Yeah,
I noticed in the colony shots, like a lot of them were at sundown, and like the warmth of the sun really reflected well off of like the landscape. What was that on purpose to shoot
yeah,
a
that
little
was
at
on
it?
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we could then we kind of knew we were going to do that with some of the exteriors. So then it was like, how do we try and get the stuff that we don't shoot at those hours to sort of fit in?
Hmm. What went into planning all like the colonies sequences? Because it's described in the book, but we don't actually go there in the
No, we
book.
never went there in the book.
Yeah.
No, we had to try and find out because it's not really described what it is either in the book.
Hmm.
So we had to try and make that up. What are they doing, rather than just digging soil. So we tried to create a whole process, and then add that into the color palette. So they were digging radioactive waste, putting them into bags, a little bit like they did in Japan after the meltdown. So and then they put those in big piles. That actually happened. So that's what we did. We put them in blue bags, put them in piles, and that gave us another color in amongst the warm dirt.
Hmm. You also created this new like visual language for the colony scenes because so much of the show is in shallow focus with
Uh huh.
the cameras like right up in like Elizabeth Moss's face.
Yeah.
But for colonies, we get so many wide shots of like this never-ending landscape.
Yeah.
How did you develop that
I mean,
aesthetic?
we wanted it to feel epic. We didn't want to feel
Hmm.
the colonies to feel like the little tiny quarry that it actually was. So we wanted to feel like there's the whole stretch of, there was parts of Gilead that were totally destroyed. So there was we really tried to work that. Plus, for season one was, Offred's point of view, and this was the colonies was slightly different, even though it was,
Because she's not there. And,
she's
yeah.
she went there, and it's off Glenn, it's her story, or Emily's story. It just approached it in a slightly different way.
Hmm. And then for the scenes with between like Alexis and Marissa
Yeah.
Tomei, like you were like really up close in their faces too. But it's a different way you were shot like compared to Offred's
Yes.
close-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, with Offred, there was a lot of internalization. There was a small amount of that, but it was much more a connection between the two, between Emily and the commander's wife. Yeah,
Mhm.
Marissa.
I want to go back to the season premiere. It's
Hmm.
the first 10 minutes are some of the most like harrowing 10 minutes on TV. It's
Yeah.
like wordless sequence. It's the handmaids being led. You don't know where, and they walk out, and then it's revealed it's Fenway Park.
Yeah.
So how did that whole sequence come about? Did you actually shoot in Fenway, or was it like TV magic?
TV magic, but it was really good fun to do. It was a huge team that came together to do that. It was in the script as Fenway, so we looked at shooting actually at Fenway, and it was the end of the baseball season. We thought, well, we could possibly do this. They allow people to have events on the pitch. What do you call it? So we went there and mapped it all out. Knew where we wanted to do the wides. I think by that point we'd already decided we weren't going to shoot at Fenway, so we looked to find a ballpark in Hamilton, which was high enough that there wasn't any houses and flats around it. And we just there was like one stadium that was incorrect compared to Fenway, but the rest of them kind of fitted in. So we added lights to the ones that fitted in, blacked out the one that didn't, and then with the visual effects department, they just said, "No, just shoot as you want to shoot." And they shot it all against black, and they dropped in Fenway. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Hmm. So what did you feel like it worked as well not having to go there?
I think so because the grass had to be had to be unkempt, had to be like it being left to go to rack and room for a couple of years, and then we had to distress all of Fenway anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been, I think it would have been even more work if we'd actually gone. Trying to distress grass that's perfect would have been really difficult.
And
it
you
meant we could
anger
just
like Boston fans, so
yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't have been good.
it was a great sequence because it's not a nameless, faceless place where they were gonna possibly be hanged. It was this iconic institution.
That's right. Yeah.
So
it meant a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about the show is the use of light because they're in so many dark spaces and rooms, but there's always like a ray or two of light shining through and it adds so much texture to the room, but it's still not bright. Mm-hmm. So how do you achieve those shots?
I mean, we approach each set. We don't we try and light from outside constantly. Treat it like a location, and then try and add the sun ray thing that started really early on. It's just a theme that we've carried on. So it's we looked at where we're going to where's it going to come in, where's the sun going to come in. And then just balance accordingly how we want it to look each scene. I mean, it goes. Most scenes are different, and I kind of take that from wander around my house and there's like lots of different light at all times of day. It never looks the same every day, so I just have a play really, and just design the scene to light as I wanted to, as the scene deemed fit.
Mm-hmm. And then the scenes in usually the doctor's office is always like bright white and very stark. It feels very intrusive. So how do you light those scenes?
They were super easy, because we just designed the set
just
around
turn
it, turn the lights on, and then we do a couple of little tricks in post to sort of make the white seem a little bit poppier and more surrounding the whole place. So it's we just increase the white constantly, and then pop out the red.
Well, the season is not over yet, but what was the hardest scene for you to shoot this season?
Yeah, the one that comes out tonight. Yeah.
Or you want to go home and watch tonight?
Yeah, it comes with a warning tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty horrific.
Can you give any other teases for the next one?
No.
Well, the show is already renewed for season 3. Are you going to come back for next season?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah. Do you have any ideas yet for next season?
No, they don't. I don't think they do. They're sort of, we've got to. I'm quite excited because I think it's going to be pretty fresh. There's the various things that happened, the way they set it up towards the end of season 2, that it'll have to go in an interesting direction, which I think it needs. It needs to.
Well, in the season 1 finale, it kind of like mirrored the premiere a little bit, with like the final shots. So, did you do anything similar for season 2?
Well, for the finale,
yeah,
you'll have to watch and see it.
You can't get anything out of it.